Hello everyone and welcome to Pair Learning. This is first episode of the series where we will build a complete RESTful API using Node.js and Express. We will use mongoDB as database and Mongoose as the ORM library, which makes it easier to interact with mongoDB. Apart from this, we will use JSON Web Token, also known as JWT, to add authentication. Using JWT, we can protect certain routes or endpoints and ensure that user must be logged in to access those endpoints. Well, before looking at the setup and installations, let's see what exactly we are going to build. We will create a personal notes manager application where users can log in and manage their personal notes. Here are all the endpoints and let's go through each of these one by one. First of all, user has to register by creating an account, and for that we do a post request at /API/users/register endpoint. For this, we will send all these fields, first name, last name, email and password, in the request body. On submitting the request, a new user gets created in database, and in response, we will get a token. This token has some validity and it's 1 hour in our case. Next, if the user is already registered, he can log in by sending post request at /API/users/login. But this time, we just need to send email and password. If we submit the request and if it's a valid user, we will again receive that similar JSON Web Token. Now all the remaining endpoints are protected and we need to send this token as authorization header. So let's copy this token so that we can use for other remaining endpoints. Let's see next endpoint for creating a new note using post method at /API/notes. Each note has a title, content, description and category. For example, we can store driving license number, which is kind of an ID proof. Now category can take only 3 values: ID proof, general or professional. If we send this request, we will get 403 authorization error, as this is a protected resource and we are not sending valid token. Let's go to headers tab and add the token in authorization header and request again. This time node gets created and we will get 201 status code along with node details. Next, we can access all the nodes created by a user by a get request at /API/nodes. So as usual, add the authorization header and send the request. This returns an array of node objects created by the currently logged in user. We can access a particular node object by sending get request at /API/nodes followed by the node ID. So provide the auth header and add the node ID of the node created in previous request as path parameter. This returns single JSON object. We can then update an existing node using put request at the same endpoint. Here I have updated content and description fields. So let's add path param, auth header and send the request. This simply returns success flag with 200 status code. We can validate this by submitting get node by ID request again and see the updated information. Finally, we can delete a particular node by sending delete request. This also returns success flag. So if we fetch all nodes again, this time we will get an empty array. Now let's go through what all softwares we need. Obviously, as we are creating a Node app, make sure that Node.js is installed on your machine. For this, go to nodejs.org and download and install any of these latest version. I'm using this 13 version. It downloads an installer file for respective platform and provides a standard wizard for installation. Once installed, we can verify that by running node-version from terminal. Next, I'm using VS Code as IDE. There are lots of other options available such as Atom, Sublime Text and many more. So feel free to use any of these. Throughout the series, we will use Postman for testing the endpoints. So download and install this as well. Now the final piece that we need is database, that is mongoDB. There are lots of options available to use this. One of the typical way is to download the community edition and install locally on your machine. So from here we can download for respective platform and then perform the installation steps. Another option is, if you don't want to go through the downloading and configuring process, simply spin up an instance of mongoDB on the cloud. If we go to this link and click on getting started, we can see detailed step-by-step instructions for how to create and get access to a mongoDB instance on the cloud. Another option that I will use is by running a mongoDB Docker container. If you have Docker installed on machine, then it's just a matter of running a single command to spin up the database instance. First, make sure that Docker service is running. Then go to terminal and run docker container run command by giving container a name and expose the default port to host machine. That's it. Now we can use docker container ls command to see what all containers are running. As we can see here, our mongodb container is up and running and we can access this at the exposed port. So that's it from this video. Thanks for watching and see you in next episode where we will do the project setup.